Hello, and today I'm going to show you how to build an AI agent that's going to handle all your emails for you. Now, whether you are a business owner or if you are a AI agency selling this to a business owner, this fixes a massive problem for them. So, if you're getting hundreds, if not thousands of emails in a day, you're probably either having to manually do it yourself or you've got a team to do it. Your team members are going to have to do it, or you might potentially have someone that just does that job for you. So either way, it's taking up a lot of time and a lot of money to do this when you can just have AI sieve through 90% of them and then just give you the important ones that you actually need to deal with. So let's just jump straight into the build for this one. Now, I actually built it for a reel, an Instagram reel that I made earlier on this week, but I wanted to make a YouTube video just to kind of go a bit more in depth with it. So it's built on N8N. If you're unfamiliar with this platform, it is a no-code, low-code platform that helps you to connect different platforms together and integrate AI to them as well. So this could be built on N8N, Zapier, Make.com, but we've just built this one on N8N for today. Now, how it's going to start is with a Gmail trigger. So you need to create a credential and allocate it to the right email address that you want to. Now, if you don't already have one, you can just create a new credential and you can just use an OAuth to sign in. So if you're already signed into that Google or Outlook account on your laptop or phone, you can just connect it that way. Now, secondly, with the poll times, now what this means is how often the workflow is actually going to trigger. Now, because this is not a webhook, it's not going to be triggered by the event. It's going to trigger at a time that you specify. So in this instance, it's every minute, but you can change it to every hour or whenever. Now, how do you decide what poll time you should do? It really depends on your specific business. Or if you're doing it for a client, depending on two things: how many emails you're getting in a day and what price you're willing to pay for the N8N or Make.com subscription. So of course, the more executions that you do, the bigger the plan you're likely going to need for the platform. And again, if you're getting in more emails, you're probably going to need a bigger plan for it as well. So you just need to make that decision on what to do, and you can always start it off with an hour, and if it doesn't work, then you can always just adjust it accordingly. Now, once the email comes in, so we'll just try test an event. So this is an email that I sent myself. So yeah, just an email that I sent myself just to get some data. Next, it's going to be passed to an AI node. Okay, now this is the input from the Gmail trigger. If you're unfamiliar with how N8N works, basically whenever you open up any node, you've got these three platforms, if you want to call them. This side is the input, this is how the node transforms that data, and this is the output. Okay, so the input is coming in from the email, it is then classifying the email, and then this will be the output. Cool. Now this is just the simple prompt that it's been given. So you're an email classification agent. Your job is to analyze incoming emails and classify them into exactly one of three categories. Categories: spam, customer inquiry, and important. Just again, depending on what's required for it. And some rules: respond only with a classification label, spam, customer inquiry, or important. Do not include any explanation, punctuation, or additional text. If uncertain between customer inquiry and important, lean towards important, and if uncertain between spam and customer inquiry, I'm just going to actually change that to lean towards important, just for total safety, because obviously you don't want to be deleting important emails. And again, I think that this prompt does satisfy it, and if you wanted to be sure, you could obviously use the smartest model out there. So so you could use the smartest model out there possible to get it to work and increase the chance of it not making a mistake. But again, just to err on the side of caution, if you give it that prompt as well, it'll be more likely to pass it through. Now, the message that I sent myself was essentially, "Hi, I'm interested in in your business. Tell me how you work." So it should output it as a customer inquiry. Perfect. There we go. So we've got that output. Next, we want to make sure that it goes down the right route, just depending on the content that it gives us. So for this one, if we execute that, it should output as customer inquiry. So we know that it's classified the right one. Now, we'll come back onto this in a bit. But essentially, that is how that's the main part of the workflow. Get the emails in, classify them, and then send them down the right route. Now, if it is a spam email, you simply just have this, the resource, the message, delete, and again, this would just be this node here. So essentially, you're just allocating it to the right email, and then it would just simply delete it if it came back as spam. If it's an important email, it just takes, you would have it set up like this. So it takes the email subject and then just again provides a bit more information. So who's the original sender, what was the subject of the email, what was the date it was received, and there's a kind of snippet of information from it, and forwards it to a manager and ends there. The only one that you would maybe want to adjust a bit more would actually be this potential route where it sends a customer reply. Now, if you were this, obviously I just set up again for a reel and kept it very simple, but it has no context on your business or your client's business. So getting it to create a response, it is just going to be a very generic response, like be polite, concise and helpful, address the customer's concern directly. But if the customer's asking, what's your opening times, how's that supposed to know? So you've got a couple of different routes that you could go down with this one. You could either give it some a database of information in this prompt as well. You could literally add information down here to say our opening times are this and give it a kind of frequently asked questions. You could give it access to like a vector database where it can go in and get all the information, just depending on what you think's best. Or again, if you didn't even necessarily want to include AI to draft a response for you, you could even just again forward it to a staff member to actually reply to the customer inquiry. I mean, you could potentially even just have it classify as simple inquiry, which it can answer based on, you know, is it like, where are you located, what's your contact number, what's your opening times. If it's something as simple as that, you can have it, you know, draft a response to that. And then if it's a slightly more complex customer inquiry, you could have another branch going to, again, send it to a member of staff to reply. So that is essentially it. This is a very simple one, but it can fix a massive problem. Again, if you're getting hundreds of emails in a day, this just takes the big chunk of the workload, which is what needs to happen with this email. So just getting rid of that thought process for it to manually come in. So again, you'll save so much time and so much money just by having this there. If you're interested in potentially having something like this set up for your business, just comment down below and I'll send you a message and we can potentially draft something up like this for you. All the best. Speak to you soon.